Because she's Erza is the reason why there was no review of Fairy Tail the anime last week. I think everybody kind of figured that was the reason why they probably didn't see a Fairy Tail video up last week. I didn't like that in the manga. I did not like that in the anime. I was hoping that we would have got more clarification, but we did not. So I was like, nope, not making a video on it. So I was just letting you know, if there's other things in the future, if you don't see, let's say, a review on it, and you know, like, you could see something in there that might be kind of similar to Because She's Erza, you know why. But for now, though, let's talk about this episode, which was pretty fucking badass. Now, besides last week's episode, this episode, fucking, oh! Okay, so I gotta point out that the animation of this episode was a whole lot better than previous episodes. Like, the animation was fucking brilliant. Like, it really was fucking great for a long-running anime. And to see that one scene where Mardgear, he just gets into his chair, he puts down the book, he's like, I'm fucking angry, you know shit's going down. Because, let's backtrack a little bit. Mardgear, this entire time he's been showcased as a character, he's constantly not even tried to fight. Like, he's just holding a fucking book, he's just beating the shit out of people, like what he did to Natsu in this episode. Like, he just slams him into the ground while he's holding a book. He's just not even trying, and all of a sudden they piss him off, and he's like, I'm done with your bullshit. He sits down, and he's like, come on, humans. And they rush him. His chair, he gets launched up, and then as he's falling, before the chair even hits back down, he just sits into the chair, and he's like, sits back down, he's like, is that really all you have? That was just so fucking awesome. The music and everything in that scene, when you just see Mardgear get serious, he's like, I'm so done. I'm so done with all of your shit. And that, I was waiting for that scene for so long, because it's just, he's sitting in his chair, and he's like, bring it. I'm tired. I'm gonna use both my hands. I'm about to show you all these hands. So Mardgear, such a good fight. Better fight than last week's episode, let's just be honest here. So, besides that though, we have it to where Sting and Rogue, they come in and they are helping out Natsu in this fight, which is actually a good thing, because right now Natsu acknowledges that Mardgear is a tough opponent. He's like, hey, this dude is strong, I need you guys to back me up. At first, it was where, like, oh, I'm gonna do it by myself. I promised Ignil, I'm gonna do this, but as it went on and, you know, Mardgear got serious, they both tried to help out Natsu, and then Mardgear is just nullifying their attacks like nothing, just whooping them around. So this dude's strong, like, he didn't even really get hurt. I mean, when Natsu just straight up decked him in the face, he just turns his head around, he's like, is that it? And he just sits in his chair. So yeah, Mardgear, a little bit strong, like he's really strong. Can he really beat Mardgear by himself? Is he going to need the help of Sting and Rogue continuously to be able to beat him? We'll have to find out as the episodes continue on. So let's talk about that Arachnologia versus Ignil part of this episode. So Arachnologia, he talks. For the first time, he actually talks. And I want to ask the question, how does anime onlys feel about his voice actor? And also I want to ask manga readers, because, you know, this is my first time hearing his voice, because we never had audio on this. My impressions of Arachnologia's voice, I have to say, it's a good voice. I think it is a good voice. It really is. Now, I just cannot wait to see certain scenes with Arachnologia with this voice to see how it really is. But for now, though, I think the actor could possibly do a very good job with the voice. We just got to see how Arachnologia kind of puts more emotion into it, and see how later scenes can go down with this voice on top of Arachnologia. Now, one thing we have to also look at too is how the fight was just going on in this. Like, you have it to where Fairy Tail's fighting on the bottom against Mardgear and all that, and then you have it to where Erza's fighting, and just all this other situations on the ground level. But then you go into the sky and you just see this like battle of dragons going on. You see these giant ass blasts going at each other, these huge nuclear explosions almost. You see the clouds just moving and pushing out of the way, and just Ignil and Arachnologia just going at it. And it just goes to show you the power difference between the different people of this arc. I mean, you look at these two dragons fighting in the sky, and when you go down here to where Mardgear and Natsu's fight is, I mean, it pales in comparison to what is going on with the dragons in the sky. And, of course, we probably haven't seen all of the strength of Mardgear, because as he says, he has a transformation, so he's not even in his most serious mode right now. He's like, I just don't give a shit. I'm not transforming. Like, I'm whooping you guys around without transforming. I'm just angry. I want to erase your existence. So yeah, that's pretty cool how, this episode is, setting stuff up for that as well. So, I mean, this fairy tale episode, overall, it was an enjoyable episode. There was a lot of certain filler scenes in this episode as well, where it just, scenes that, in general, didn't really, I guess, add much to the overall plot, but it was still fun nonetheless. So, I want to ask, how'd you all feel about this week's episode of Fairy Tail? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.